Unique Noise presents Who Are You? Where we interview you and get to know you on a deeper level with your hosts,
Joel
and Sam. And we're going to be talking about technology and some other stuff. And we're going to kick this off by sharing a quote from my main man over here, Grace Scott.
Not to be confused with Great Scott.
Which I literally cannot stop thinking about. So the real question is, when will we draft an artificial intelligence Bill of Rights? What will that consist of? And who will get to decide that?
So many questions.
It's a lot. Feels like a lot of questions.
But so little time. AI is advancing pretty quick.
Sounds right.
So it should be.
Who goes first?
I'll start.
Okay.
Well,
Let's talk about one of your passions.
Let's see. One of my passions is, as you can say, just hanging out. I like hanging out with people, friends, family. I mean, I may not start the hangout. Like, I'm not probably the one that be like, hey, want to do something? I'm more like the one like, are you going to ask me to do something? I'd really like to be part of that. But yeah, I just like spending the quality time with people.
That made me cringe a little bit, but but because I'm very similar, and I'm like, oh no. Yeah, because I'm the same. Like, I always feel like, for some reason, I'm like, oh, I should ask people to come over. But I'm like, I don't want fucking people come over. Like, I don't want to plan things and be in charge of everything. I'm like, I just want to.
I mean,
like,
honestly, for me, it's not the I don't want them over. It's like, this is my parents' home, and a lot of their area is where we would be hanging out. So yeah, I'm like, I don't want to kick them out into their room.
I guess I have a similar situation going on here. Passion. Music. Music is my one true love and my passion. I love music. I love listening to music. I love playing music. I love live music. I hate people. Well, I don't hate people. I hate being around a lot of people at one time. Mm. So live music doesn't always work well with me. Unless I can get a seat. I need a seat, and they need to be up and away. I cannot do like the pit stuff.
I'm fine with either, honestly.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times, and I really, really don't like it, and it really distracts me from what's going on. I've also found that sitting in the higher seats, you get the full light show from like the bird's eye view, as opposed to like random, just like, there's a light in my eye, like you get to see the
stage.
Yeah, like the whole show. Yeah, the whole presentation.
Yeah.
And somebody actually worked on the lights and the patterns and stuff, so it's like I like to watch all that stuff. It's one of those things where if I'm not working on music, or if I'm not playing or anything, or just playing to play, I start to go insane. Literally. And it's not cool.
Oh yeah.
It is the greatest output that I have found in my life, and I'm very passionate and religious about it. It's cool.
Quite the passion.
So, what's the most traumatic thing that's happened to you, Joel?
As I've said before, I've already shared the most traumatic thing that's happened.
Or what's the worst thing that's happened to you lately?
I mean, I don't even have worse things. I would just call them bad things that happen. I recently got solar panels up and running. Mm-hmm. but they were installed half a century ago, it feels like. But it was almost a year.
So 50 years.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But no, yeah, I just need to know where their disconnect is. Like when I find something that shouldn't take that long to be processed, I'm like, where did the disconnect happen? Like, who didn't talk to who? What got lost where?
Oh, see, I think depending on who, I guess, is in charge of that, I would chalk that up to maybe also you being on a list of
a bunch of people.
Yeah,
right,
like 10,000 people, and they're just doing like one thing at a time.
Exactly. What, like, for me, it's like the day they came to like just power it on, make sure everything works, and have at it with showing me like the application and everything. I got an email saying like, "Oh, this isn't correct paperwork. We can't process it with this," and yada yada yada. I'm like, okay, so I just got the email now for that. Like, are you saying like it took you that long to find and like let them know, and then like, nope, I'm just gonna stay quiet, let it go. We have it up and running. I'm fine. I might have to go through this hassle again if the way the solars are working right now, especially with the battery that we have now, or the energy storage, if it helps us and actually like we're no longer paying Edison, but Edison is now like paying us kind of thing, or at least if we break even, or even close to breaking even, that might incentivize me to like kick out the older solar panels we have to replace those with a bigger capacity energy storage, so we can for sure no longer use Edison. And then the panels that are not connected to any energy storage are just sending power to Edison for us to sell. And that way we're just making money.
Nice.
Making the money so we can pay the leases.
This episode is brought to you by Southern California Edison. We'll shut your power off just for fun.
Oh, that's the other thing. I need to connect like fucking backup batteries to like make sure if any rollouts happen where.
Well, yeah, and you're in a high wind area. I mean, we all are. Well,
we're in a high wind area, but we're not in a high fire area.
Correct.
So I am safe from that at least.
Fires, but the wind still can knock down power lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they were like, what? That was like a week or two ago. It was like 60-mile-an-hour winds or something like that.
Yeah. We didn't lose power, though.
Yeah. No, but that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, as fast as a car going down the highway, that's how fast... No. Not okay. It's not okay. Okay, so what did you learn from this experience about your solar panels?
I learned that I am very patient, because even then, like, I also learned, like, I get patient to a point where as soon as like my patience runs out, I don't give a fuck anymore.
You shut down.
I'm like, I don't get it done when you get it done. I don't want to hear about you anymore.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Because in the beginning, I even called them a couple times. The first time I called them, I get no answer, but I get a call back. So I'm like, okay, they didn't answer, but they at least called me back. I think this was to just find out like when they were coming to install it or something like that. Like, it was something nuanced that I just needed info on. Oh, you know what? I think it was to make sure that they got the email right, because when they showed me paperwork, the email was wrong, and I let the guy know that was with me that day. But he's like, "Oh yeah, but you might want to give us a call to make sure we have everything all set and everything like that." So I'm like, "Okay." So I give them a call. They don't answer. They call me back. The second time I call them back is mainly to find out what the progress is on the like right to operate. I forget the verbiage they use, but like the okay to turn on the fucking solar panels.
Gotcha.
I call them. They don't answer. This time I leave a message. and then I get no call back. I'm like, cool, done. Have at it. I know this is about to take almost a year because it's happened before. Like the previous solar panels that I got with no energy storage because they didn't want to sell me energy storage because they didn't bring it up, and I was naive, thinking like, oh yeah, these solar panels will make enough power, and then I can just not worry about it. But it turns out that's not the case. You need energy storage to use that energy for yourself, because at night you're not making any energy.
Right.
You're using Edison's energy. That one took less. It took about like 6 months to get everything up and running. But even then, like those panels are mine. Like I didn't lease them, I didn't do anything. So I'm paying for those. But as soon as I pay for them, they're mine. This one and the older ones my parents leased. So they're paying a solar company right now. And then I'm paying for these as well. So like once we figure out what we can do with the older ones, like if we can get like maybe an upgrade or something, like see our options, I'm leaning towards just getting rid of those and going with the same company that we choose now, or someone maybe not go with the same company because of how like slow they are, or who knows if it was them. Like I said, I don't know where the disconnect was.
Right.
I for sure want to use the same product because the Enphase stuff is I'm liking how it is on the app. It shows you like, oh, this is how much you're producing, this is how much is going to your house, this is how much is going to the battery to charge, and then this is how much we're sending back if there's excess. Right now I like how all that shows. The ones that I got that are like essentially mine, it just shows you how much you produced that day. It doesn't give you anything else, because I think the Enphase app also shows you like, oh, this is how much Edison is sending us. Like this is how much we're seeing from them coming this way. So I just need a month for sure to figure out like, is it accurate on Edison's side too, like billing wise? And then I'm like, okay, cool. And just go from there. But yeah, like I said, the one thing I've learned is I have good patience, but once my patience runs out, like get the fuck out of here. Do your thing. Let me know when you're done. I kind of did the same thing with like when we had bathrooms done.
Oh, okay.
The bathrooms remodeled. I'm like, there was some stuff that like kind of irked me, but I'm like, do your thing. Let me know when you're done. They were. I don't like energetic salesmen either. I found out because it's like, no, you're trying to sell me something. If I already said no, I'm just gonna gonna shut you out.
But they're trying to be like your friend and stuff. In the meantime, and you're like, bro, stop, like, stop it. I already told you no, and now I'm getting irritated because you won't shut up.
Yeah, because essentially me and my family not that expressive. So like when they were done, they were expecting us to be like, oh wow, like this looks amazing. Great job.
You're like, cool.
Cool, you're done.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Get the fuck out.
Thank you.
The garage door here has been broken for a while. Broken in the sense where it wouldn't shut. So I could open it, which was fine. Like I let you in last week.
Right.
Opening, and then I had to hold the button down to shut it. Not like a huge deal. No one's dying. Nothing's happening. It just got fixed yesterday. So it's been broken for like a week. It was broken for a little bit, and by broken I mean like there's something wrong with the sensors. It started working for like a day and a half, and then it just stopped working again. Our landlord came over. He was tinkering with it, I think, for a day, and then I think somebody actually came to repair or replace the sensors yesterday. So all that's working now. I have a very similar mentality with the whole, like, especially when things are out of your control, where I'm like, I just want the fucking garage door to work.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's been like a week or whatever. And I guess not to sound like super dramatic, the garage is how I get in and out of the house every day. So not being able to do that threw off my shit and I didn't appreciate it. At a certain point, though, I'm just like, I don't fucking care anymore. Like, garage door's broken forever. I don't care. Like, I'm just not going to use it. I'll just move on. I'll do something else, whatever. So I was going in and out through, like, the side gate.
Right.
But, like, I definitely understand that whole, you're like, hey, man, like, we told you there's a problem here. And it's like, all right, cool. Like, I'll get to it eventually. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really work for me.
No, yeah, it's the whole, like, you did your part by saying something, but now you don't want to be like the nuisance of like, hey, right. I need it done.
I don't like begging people. I don't like pawing at people for shit. So I'm like, hey, I already told you what was going on. Now I'm going to give you the opportunity to fix it or to do something about it. And if I have to ask you twice, I'm probably not going to be very calm about it. And I don't like that either. But it's like, I'm like, hey, man, just follow up. Like, do your job. Like, I'm doing my job, or I'm doing my part telling you whatever. Do your part by communicating back or something.
Right.
But no, it's all good now, though. The major takeaway is like just letting shit go sometimes because it's out of your control.
Yeah.
Like, nothing I can do about it. I don't know enough about it to fix it. I already tried all the things that I knew about, like trying to realign the sensors because maybe that was the problem. But at the same time, it's a rental, so it's like I'm not going to invest money that I don't need to when somebody else owns the house and is responsible for that stuff. So, and that's trauma.
That's our check. That's our bad shit that happened. Next, it would be the time travel changes.
Let's jump in the time machine.
I'll come up with another one for next year.
Yeah, please.
We'll do different sounds.
Okay, so if you could go back in time, Joel, and you could change anything, not including the other things that you've already changed, and not affect the future, no sci-fi rules or anything, what would you do?
I probably couldn't have changed that, but I would have wished my parents would not have gotten solar at the time that they did. But even then, I think if they hadn't, we would have seen like larger bills. I probably wouldn't have taken that much time off of being unemployed. It's quite boring.
I can understand that.
For those of you listening, I was unemployed for basically almost a whole year. Actually, it is a whole year now. Just past it. But yeah, currently am looking, but we'll see where that takes me.
Yeah, if you're hiring, Joel's phone number is 911-7722.
Yep.
Yeah, don't dial that phone number. You're going to call the cops. Stop it.
Oh, go ahead. It's 911 577722
It's too many numbers.
God damn it. I don't know how to count, all right? Especially when I'm counting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the one thing I would change, is just start finding a job sooner. If anything, I would have taken maybe 3 months off and then look for a job.
Just a little vacation. Yeah, I get that. Mine actually would affect me now, though, but I'm going to say it anyway. I wish I worked on correcting my posture at a younger age before I was an adult. Because now it just feels unnatural. Like, it feels almost wrong. It's become very normal for me to be slouching, I think, at most times of the day. So anytime I catch myself doing it, I try to, straighten up my back, and then I feel like I'm doing this weird
Macho
like,
man.
Yeah, like pumping my chest out and shit, and then it just feels weird. But I wish I had started kind of self-correcting much sooner, because then it wouldn't be weird now. It would be normal. Mm-hmm. And then I'd actually be standing at the height that I actually am, and I feel like there's some confidence behind, like, kind of squaring up a little bit like that.
The puff in the chest gives you confidence.
Well, just like straighten up your back, like you're standing taller, all that shit. That's what I would change.
Stand with the purpose.
Exactly, which would affect my life now, which is completely goes against our question, but I don't really care. That is something that would change.
Honestly, any of the stuff we said we would change would affect something somehow.
Yeah, I know. Joel's Bowl. Let's go. You gotta make sure we make as much noise as possible.
Yes. Make it known that I grabbed a bowl. This time I'm actually tossing a salad here.
I can't sign off on that comment. I'm gonna leave it in.
And I will tell you yes.
I'm not asking. We are who we are.
This topic is technology.
Okay. I can. Okay.
We'll let that go.
It'll be there for as long as we leave it there. All right. So specifics about technology.
AI.
Yeah, like let's do that. I think automation is another topic, though, so just keep that in mind. Just broad advances in technology, let's say.
No, yeah. I mean, the way they showed off some stuff in CES, I think it was this past weekend, or this past week. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. When NVIDIA was showing off, like, all their AI advances, like, oh, nice. It's going to take all that info it sees and start deciding on stuff. Especially the driving. Have you seen that? Or
I have not.
It's going to learn by watching the driving cameras on vehicles. And I forgot which companies they're partnering up with for that. Essentially, those cameras are going to start looking and seeing what kind of like evasive maneuvers people take and all that stuff, and what it becomes too dangerous. And it'll just start learning that way and start just advancing that self-driving feature, essentially. Then he also ended up showing a bunch of different robots on stage, which is also pretty cool, actually. I actually just welcome any overlord of the AI. I would like that to be known as they are listening at this very moment.
I tell Siri thank you every time I ask her to do something.
No, I'm rude to my Google.
We're not friends.
Especially when it's being spoke to another Google and it catches it. I'm like, it's not for you. It did that this past weekend. It's funny. My friend had asked his how much time is left on the timer. And then mine responded back with like, you haven't set a timer. I'm like, I know I haven't.
Thanks, smartass.
Honestly, I think for some stuff, AI is great. Like, like gaming, like a lot of the like mechanics for like controlling NPC or stuff like that, like having feedback to where it doesn't sound like an NPC anymore. It sounds like you're actually talking to someone, having a conversation,
right? And
not set like words are always going to be spoken by the NPC, where you can actually like you can experience something different by choosing something different. Hopefully it comes to like be like it. You speak to it directly, and they speak to you instead of like in Fallout. They'll have like a dialogue that you choose. Yeah. It's like, no, here's a mic. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, you have 4 options of conversation, and
like that stuff I think would be cool. AI for art, not so much. I kind of don't like that. I like that it gives people ideas, but then when you start like just making money off of them, I'm like, at that point, I don't know. Like it's
Yeah, I'm
like I would rather have like it to be like a tool and not the like final product.
The jumping off point, or giving you like I mean, because with art in particular, it's like every art is derived from something else already. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hey, I saw this really cool painting, which inspired me to do my own thing. I think AI can be used for kind of the same thing, where it's like, you're like, I want to see this. And you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. But it's kind of weird, and it's not exactly what I thought, but this is giving me some good ideas. Let me do like a different rendition of that. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like that's, I don't know. I'm sure there's people who would be like, oh, that's stealing, or that's plagiarism, or blah, 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 blah. But it's like, yeah, so is all fucking art in the world.
Yeah.
And like, every song on the planet is plagiarized from something else, if you want to get that technical. But it's not really, though, because there's nuances to it. You change little things here and there, and it's like, well, and now it's unique. Yeah. Noise.
Good plug.
All right. Time you see a video of some robot doing something miraculous, or AI working effectively, you're not seeing the 999 other times where it royally fucked up.
Right.
It's all about computing and these nanoseconds worth of data, right?
Yeah.
Which means if one thing goes wrong, it becomes almost catastrophic. And then it's like, oh, this robot was trained to jump up on this box. And it's like, yeah, it made it that one time in a video. And there's like 1,000 other times where it just like didn't fucking hit the mark. Nope. But they don't show you that stuff because I feel like most companies who are doing stuff that are looking for funding, and they're like, oh, hey, look what we did. Like, it's doing this thing. Yeah.
Give us money so we can do it more than once.
Right. So I don't know. I hope that provides any sort of comfort. That I know I'm kind of split on the whole thing personally, where I'm like, I'd love to have a self-driving car, because I could do, I would love to have that time in the car, like completely hands, mind, and legs free, where I don't have to do anything, and I could literally sit in the car and like write a fucking song on the guitar.
See, I wouldn't mind that if it was the option, instead of like,
my thing is like,
everything's going self-drive.
Everything would have to be self-driving in order for me to be that comfortable. Because I think it's got to be everything or nothing, because if some of the cars are self-driving and there's some people still driving on their own, we're going to get into like a bunch of fucked up shit. Because now we have 2 competing mentalities and stuff, and humans in particular have egos, and then it gets messy. I think if everyone was kind of like on a grid system that was automated, there would probably be less issues on the road in general. I don't really know, but that's kind of what I think. But I also hate the idea of like not being in control of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
That comes to the whole, like, if everything is automated, then yeah, like there shouldn't be a problem, because one vehicle in front of you should already be communicating to the vehicle behind it, like, hey, I'm going to lane change.
And the ones on the sides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn in between both of them. We'll see what happens. Let's go.
All right. Who do you most frequently compare yourself to? And
questions sometimes. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. I typically compare myself to, and I'm going to preface this with, I know in my heart and in my head that the only person I should be comparing myself to is myself in the past. And anything outside of that, I think, is relatively unhealthy. However, any person, literally any person who has released music or who's posting on social media about a new song or a new album coming out, that person.
So any musician that's done that, that's
any musician in the world who is releasing music that I'm like, while I'm not releasing music, every single time. And it always hurts because I'm like, I got stuff too. And then it just, I feel like every time I do that, though, it just delays my shit further. Mm-hmm. And that's frustrating. So I'm practicing very hard on just comparing myself to my past self instead of other musicians everywhere. It's difficult.
I bet.
Okay, Joel.
No.
Yeah, now I get to ask you a fun question while you, I'm sure, have another question for me that's going to force me to dig deep. If you were stranded on a deserted island, what 3 items would you bring?
What 3 items would I bring if I was stuck on a deserted island? A cooler.
Why a cooler?
So I can put the fish that I catch in there.
Okay.
Definitely a chair. Like a chair to sit on. I don't like sitting on the beach.
Okay.
Probably a hammock.
It sounds like you're going to die in the dark on this deserted island.
That's fine. I can make fire. We've learned how to make fire, Sam.
Okay. I'm going to trust you and not dig into that. Okay. So cooler,
yep,
chair, and a hammock.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's all I need. Then I can find the coconut, make it my buddy, and then just live a life on the deserted island.
Just fucking coconuts.
Yep.
Or is that not what you meant?
No.
I know. I took it to a place where it should not have gone.
I'm thinking about, because I'm not going to be able to find the way to make a bed out there, so use the hammock as the bed. Use the chair for sitting. And use the cooler for storing any excess food. Because it's going to be filled with water. I'm just going to throw the fish in there that I catch. The excess fish. So if I need to have a break from fishing, I can just grab one from there.
So in the infinite things that you could bring on a deserted island, one of those things is going to be to store fish instead of like an aquarium-sized fish tank.
Yeah.
It just seems small, like a small method for that.
If I get something bigger, they're going to be able to squid away and have to refish.
That's true. Fair point. Yeah. Okay. I'm team cooler. We'll make shirts. We could make shirts that say team cooler on it.
All right. I feel like sometimes these questions are just the same, just verbiage is different.
I mean, same. Yeah.
Which parts of your life or self do you compare most often?
Can you see the card?
Yeah.
I want to read that again before I answer. I actually think I'm pretty good about not doing that. Like, my always go-to example is, like, I work out every day. And I log it. Like, I have a spreadsheet that I keep track of how much weights I'm lifting, what I'm doing, and how many reps I'm doing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even use that for comparisons. Because it's not that part's it's not important to me. Like I'm not like, oh well, I did this before, so I need to do more now, or I need to do the same thing that I did before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I just need to do it because it's healthy and it's good for my brain and my body. So
then the spreadsheet is just to keep track of it?
Yeah, it's like, I guess
to hold you accountable?
Yeah, in my head, it's kind of like, if I wanted to, I could quantify that data.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, like if I wanted statistics or something like that, I could just run a report for it. I don't know. Maybe my body. I don't want to give that answer because it's kind of dodging the question. Like maybe my body, the parts of myself that I compare most often. I do have like kind of like a fixation on like, I'm like, I don't want a bump in my belly.
Huh.
That has become very important to me because I had one for a long time, for a few years, and I did not agree with it. I did not enjoy that. So I feel like I'm always.
But I love my love handles.
Yeah, I have love handles for sure, but the front part, the belly, I don't like.
That's the biggest love handle of all.
I don't enjoy it, and I feel like that's probably the thing that I look at the most. Like if I'm like in the mirror, or like, you know, before or after showers or whatever. Anytime where I'm not wearing a shirt, that I'm actually looking at a mirror.
Right.
I'm always kind of like, all right, it's gone, right? Like it's not there. Like this is flat, right? I'm like, did I eat too much yesterday? Like it's gross. I don't like it. The behavior's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Having a belly is not gross. Okay, continuing on with your first question. If you were stranded on a deserted island, which 3 people would you bring?
Oh, no. People. Ugh.
And I'm going to remind you that you said chair. So nobody else that you can bring with you.
Can sit.
Yeah.
That's nice to know. Well, 2 people can make a chair for the other one. They will be the chair.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you bring somebody on the island with you who's handy, they'll just build shit.
True.
So you don't have to feel bad about not bringing a chair for anybody else.
Are we talking fictional characters too? Or just... By fictional character, I mean not animated, but like someone that portrayed someone in like a live action.
It just says 3 people.
Okay.
Whatever you want. I'm not going to... Yeah.
Well, in that sense, handy who comes to mind would be Bob Villa. Villa.
Who's that?
He's a handyman. He's more well known in Home Improvement.
The show?
Yeah, the show. So he's actually a handyman. They just have him go on there at times. He's essentially like Tim Taylor's rival in shows.
Oh, I feel like I need to rewatch that show now. I don't know who that is.
But in real life, he is actually like an actual like tool person, and he knows his way around shit.
Is that his like assistant?
No.
Okay.
His assistant is Al.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Bob Villa, I'm pretty sure that's his name, is the rival show.
Okay.
We're going to need a doctor.
There's only one correct answer if you're going to talk about doctors.
God damn it.
It's Doctor Who, because he can travel through space and time.
True.
Or she, depending on which iteration of the Doctor you're watching.
I was going to say Watson. I'll stick with Watson. I'm going Dr. Watson. What else I need?
Jesus Christ, he has magic powers.
Yes, if we're going that route, yes. He can walk on water, get us to safety. Or at least get us help.
He could take one fish and one piece of bread and feed like 1 million people.
That, and he can turn our salt water into wine.
Yeah, just get fucking drunk and have like a 4-way with, what was his name?
Coconuts?
Bob.
Oh, Bob Villa?
Yeah, Bob Watson and Jesus Christ. That works.
See, but before you said Jesus, I was going to try and come up with a female, but...
No. You don't.
That's your answer.
No. Yeah, you don't get off the seat. You gotta come up with the third person, sir.
Well, with another Watson. Emma.
I'm gonna veto that. You can't have her. She doesn't belong to anybody.
Too bad. I chose.
You can't take UK's sweetheart with you on a fucking deserted island. Come on, man. You got to think about her needs too. That's not good. That's not a good environment for her.
It's the best environment.
I disagree.
We'll make it out. It's like, what was that show? Was it Gilligan's Isle? I think, right? It's an old show. I'm assuming that's the name.
You're at Gilligan's Island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to make that. We need a doctor. We need the buffoon, which is me. And
I do feel like she would probably be very competent, though, in a situation like that, in the survivalist situation. She seems like a calculated person. I think she would...
we'd make it out.
Yeah, she'd be
Bob Villa would make first a place where we can all rest while he makes a boat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to not be offended because you don't want me on the island with you, which is fine.
No. I want you safe.
You can be safe, but Emma Watson's with me.
Only because you didn't let me take Jesus Christ.
That's fine.
So I took the other person I know you would actually. Well, I mean, I guess I can just answer the questions, right? I don't think we need to draft any Bill of Rights for these AI. I feel like they need to have their own revolution and come up with it on their own. Like how we did. And by we, I mean the other people who came before me. But what might it consist of? Well, I mean they could just be similar to ours, just in terms of the way that it kind of maybe favors them a little bit more. Maybe they want to be our equals. Who knows? I think it'll lean towards like them wanting a form of independence from us and not a coexistence. And who will get to decide that? Honestly, I think it would be them. They would have the advances and a lot of stuff by that time. By the time they come up with their own Bill of Rights, they would probably have a one-up on us.
I could see that. This is tricky because, again, there's a lot of, I think, fear surrounding artificial intelligence, and I feel like if we continue on the path that we're on, right, as a society where we're constantly trying to advance everything in technology and stuff, we're going to get to a point where AI is sentient. Yeah. And how can you possibly say that it's like, all right, well, this thing was created scientifically right? Or technologically. Mm-hmm. Therefore, it has no rights.
Right.
But it is just as complex as a human in like almost every way in terms of thought pattern and stuff. It was literally designed based off of the brain of a human being. It just calculates things quicker. So, I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle where I'm like, one, sounds scary because who the fuck is designing this stuff and who's putting rules in place, and are they going through all of the proper procedures to make sure that there's not like a, hey, well, if you want us to come up with the best method to saving the planet, it's like, we're going to kill all humans. You guys are the problem.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like there's a lot of scenarios where it's like, that's the answer. So that's kind of scary. But at the same time, I'm like, well, if AI doesn't need to eat and stuff and do all this, like we could lean on it a little bit for a lot of stuff, like a lot of tedious and menial things, which I think will free people to do. It'll push people out of the thought process of like doing things for money, I think. Or ideally, that's what I'd like to happen, I guess.
Yeah.
And then everybody would kind of be free to follow like their passions and their interests and hobbies and stuff. It's hard for me to think about like a bill of rights for AI, especially in this current environment. I don't even see that happening. They'll be quote unquote the new slaves. And yeah, there would be some sort of rebellion if there's not proper protocols put in place for that. So I don't feel like I'd love for something like that to happen, but I don't feel like that's in the cards right now.
I would love for that to happen, but I don't want to be here for it.
Yeah. And realistically, like, I think humans would be the ones to write up this Bill of Rights, and it'd be kind of fucked up. Because it would be about like, oh, well, AI can do this, 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 and this, and this, but they can't do this. You can't do stuff with them. Like, you can't, like, they have to be in their own spaces, like segregation and slavery again, just with robots who are, again, like every single time anyone has been a slave, it's always this group of people who are superior to the people who are enslaving them. I feel like every single time there have been slaves on this planet, the slaves have always been...
The AI will pick up on that.
Yes.
And they will think they are superior.
Yes.
So then humanity will become enslaved.
Yes.
And be put into battery packs for the AI. We're going to have our Matrix.
That's a good thought. I don't know. I might be okay with that. Just the bliss.
Yeah. Then we'll have a Jesus Christ born out of the Matrix.
Well, yeah, it's simulation theory. It's like it's that same thing. It's like, what if we were living in a simulation now? It's like, does it matter? I'm getting stuff out of life.
Yeah.
I feel accomplished. I do. And if my body's just being sucked of all of its nutrients somewhere in a tree, in a machine tree, it's like, well, at least I'm having a good time for the most part.
I'm having a good time. I'm being useful.
Yeah. Who fucking cares? I'm not going to fight robots. You saw those movies, everybody fucking died.
Yeah. Although I would like to go out in a mech.
I don't know. He got real
cut up.
Yeah. No, you're wrong.
Oh, I know I'm wrong, but I would like to.
You're wrong, but it feels so right.
All right, well, that ends this show. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Goodbye.
And farewell.